Let's have a quick conversation about emergency business credit card with high limits. Because, honestly, you don't need to have an emergency business loan all the time. If you can get an emergency credit card for your business needs, that's kind of cool. So I want to explain to you how to qualify no matter what. Let's first start with an overview, because I really want to explain to you what we're talking about here. So who is eligible to apply for an emergency business credit card with high limits? Well, the vast majority of business owners can qualify. So if you are listening to me right now, whether you are a startup, whether you are an established business, whether you are something in between, like you are in the growth phase, you are small, you're medium size, it doesn't matter, you can qualify. Okay. And the thing here is that when we talk about emergency business credit cards, the criterion I want you to pay attention to is credit. Most emergency business credit card issuers, they want you to have good credit. I'm talking about having 650 minimum. Now, the thing here is that if you don't have 650 minimum, what you want to do is you want to have other factors that will work in your favor. For example, you can have a business pitch, you can have a business plan, you can have solid financials. Okay, by financials, I mean you can have actual data or projected data, and you also want to parlay. If you have a relationship with the credit card issuer, let's say you have a bank account with them. You have a business bank account, a personal bank account, you have a business savings account with them. You can parlay that great relationship into a successful emergency credit card, business credit card application. So business credit is number one. Number two, the number two criterion is income. Okay, so basically the business credit card issuers is going to look at your business's income, your revenue. For the last 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 1 year, it really depends on the economic trends in your industry. It depends on the particular profile of your business. It depends on a constellation of things. But I want you to close your eyes and say there are two things, only two things. So you have income and you have good credit. And by the way, boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. And one thing I want you to remember when we speak about emergency business credit card with high limits, we are speaking about income, and it could be personal income, it can be business income. But overall, credit card issuers want to look at your overall financial situation. So when we talk about emergency business credit card with the high limits, if you want to qualify no matter what, it's really important to understand that you need to have a clear idea about the kind of cards you're looking at. See, the thing here is that you have business credit cards for emergencies that are issued by banks and others that are issued by credit unions. My question to you is, which one do you qualify for? Or which one do you think you can qualify for? Well, to answer that question, it depends on the existing relationship you have. It depends on the bank where you're currently at. It depends on the credit union where you're currently at. If you don't have a relationship with any bank or with any credit union, you're not going to qualify for an emergency business credit card. So the first thing I want you to do right now is to establish a relationship. And anytime I speak about a relationship, I'm talking about you having an opportunity to have a business bank account, a business savings account, a business checking account. It can be hiring the bank for, I would say, business services. Some banks have something called merchant services. They have payroll services. So you just need to be able to have a transactional relationship with the bank. Okay. So, and when we talk about when we're talking about emergency business credit cards, you need to actually think about the layer of banks versus credit unions. What I'm trying to say here is that when it comes to banking in general, you have three types of banks. You have national banks. I'm talking about the Chase of the world, Chase, Bank of America, Citibank, and Wells Fargo. Then you have regional banks. You have a PNC, US Bank, Truist. You have a Fifth Third. You have BMO. You have TD. You have Capital One, and then you have the local bank. Okay, so the bank will be local to your state, or county, or city. It doesn't matter. The same thing, the same classification applies to credit unions. So you have credit unions that have a prominent national coverage, like PenFed and Navy Fed. Then you have those that are regional players. Then you have those that are state players. So you have to see which one works for you. And one thing I need to say here is that when we talk about emergency business credit card, everything happens at the branch. You're not going to qualify if you apply online. You need to apply at the branch, okay? Credit card, boss. Do you currently need an emergency business credit card? If yes, have you started the application process already? If you have started, this is kind of fine. But if you haven't started, I want you to listen right now, because I'm going to give you the steps you need to apply successfully for an emergency business credit card with high limits. The first thing you want to do here, as I already said, you have to actually go to a branch. Now, a lot of banks, a lot of credit unions will say you can pre-qualify for a business credit card for emergencies on their website, right? So they have this system where you can just go to a specific website, and you actually enter your information, and you can see if you're pre-qualified. This is kind of cool, but it's not always effective. This is why it's just a lot better to do things at the branch. The reason why you don't want to pre-qualify online is because you need the card for emergencies. You need it real fast. So you don't have time to actually explain the context within which you want the card. So if you have a platform online, that platform, the pre-qual platform, will not understand the needs that you have. So go to a branch. The second thing is I want you to have an EIN ready. So when we talk about your EIN, your employer identification number, just make sure. See, usually when we talk about applying for an emergency business credit card with EIN, what people don't understand here is that the EIN is linked to your business credit score. In other words, you want to make sure that you maintain at least 80 for your PAYDEX score, and you maintain 80 for your Experian Intelli score, and also a decent score for your Equifax. Okay, so this is important. So when we talk about EIN, we are speaking about your business credit score, but we are speaking about the kind of relationship you have with your existing net 30 vendors, your existing business credit partners. You got to have those. If you don't have those two, I mean, there are others, but you got to have those two first. Okay, if you have those two, then we can start a conversation, and we can actually talk about how to actually qualify. By the way, boss, let me quickly remind you of today's topic. I am talking to you today about how to qualify for an emergency business credit card with high limits. Okay, even if you have bad credit, it doesn't matter. You can still qualify. One thing I want to say here is that you need to understand, if you want to qualify for an emergency business credit card with high limits, you need to make sure that the owners of the business are also clean. What do I mean by that? What will happen here is that some credit card issuers will check the credit score of any founder who owns more than 25% of the business. This is just what it is. They just want to make sure that the owners, the people with significant authority about the business, are clean, so to speak. So I'm talking about, this could be somebody who is an equity holder, or it can be an executive within the company. If you are listening to me right now, you have a one-person operation, then you're good. But if you have a business, you want to make sure that all the people who are working with you are kind of clean too. And I'm talking about the senior manager, the general partner, the owner, the chief executive, the president or the chairperson, the treasurer or the vice president. Okay, so they might need to provide personal information to make sure they are actual persons and not on a government watch list. So this is important, okay? And those people will not be subject to a credit check. They just want to, like the bank just wants to make sure that it's complying with federal laws when it comes to anti-money laundering or other regulatory issues, okay? Now, money. My question to you is, you are looking for an emergency credit card, boss, an emergency business credit card with high limits. What is your financial situation? Your company's financial situation? Are things going fine? Are you doing good, or are you kind of struggling right now? What is the situation for you? Talk to me about that, because your monetary situation will play an important role when it comes to when it comes to boosting your approval odds for your emergency business credit card with high limits. This is why, going back to what I said earlier, I said it's always good to start with a relationship banking, like with the bank relationship, and you want to go to the very bank where you already have a solid relationship. Don't go to a bank with which you have no relationship. Let me talk to you now about the steps you need to take if you want to choose the right emergency business credit card with high limits for your specific business. The thing is that, boss, when you have a business, your industry matters, right? Your financials matters, but also the people actually running the business also matters. So, what is the best card for you right now? So, how do you pick the best cards? I want you to look at the cost. First, you got to look at the cost. So, you have a trifecta of elements to look for. You got to look at the cost, the rewards, and the features and benefits. Cost, rewards, features, and benefits. This is how you actually pick an emergency business credit card. Now, I know you probably are an emergency, so you want to have access to a line of credit real quick. Yes, that's true, but do not actually forget that a business credit card, whether it is for emergencies or not, still carries cost. So you have the APRs, you have the fees and charges. Okay, so you have a constellation of fees that go with, like, the annual fee, the foreign transaction fee. So pay attention to all those things, because if you are, let's say you are a startup or you are an established business and you travel a lot, like your folks travel a lot, your employees travel a lot, you don't want to have a card that charges you foreign transaction fees, because that'll be a killer. Those fees will be a killer for your specific type of business, right? So this is where I want you to draw the line to know exactly what kind of cards you're getting yourself into. And also you have to pay attention to the rewards, right? The rewards are kind of important because you want to take time to think through which rewards are most valuable to you and your business. Because it's not about, hey, I want this emergency business credit card. Yeah, you want it, but hey, listen, you have to make sure the rewards are a fit for you. For example, you want to pay attention to things like free check bags, airport lounge access, or bonus miles. Okay, if you're loyal to a particular brand, let's say Delta or American Airlines or Hilton or Marriott Hotels, for example, a co-branded card will help you maximize those benefits. But if you are flexible and look forward, and if you book travel based on cost and convenience, then a general purpose card such as Chase Ultimate Rewards can be a better pick. And when you think about emergency business credit card with high limits, also think about the features and benefits, right? So things like a category of expense category tracking, you have analytics, you have a free employee cards. So you have to think about all those things, and also you also have the ability to monitor your overall spending. So this is kind of cool. Here is the approach I really want you to pay attention to. So when we talk about emergency business credit cards with high limits, you have to know how to use the card. I mean, you might be saying, well, I don't need help when it comes to using the card, but you need to, because if you don't use the card properly, you actually risk two things. Number one, you can have the card actually being closed, like the credit card issuer can actually close the card at once. And number two, you are going to find yourself again in the same situation that made you request an emergency business credit card in the first place. Because there are situations that actually make you that, like, if you cannot, let's say you can't really manage your budget, your business budget properly, or you have the overall state of the economy or trends in your sector, there could be a lot of things that make you request this kind of emergency business credit card. But the thing here is that you have to use the card properly, which is why. How do you use it? You have to use the card for the specific purposes that you need. Like, maybe you want to make a big purchase. You want to buy a significant piece of equipment. You want to buy office supplies, and you probably are lucky that you have a 0% intro APR for, let's say, 16 months or 18 months. So you're able to have access to interest-free business financing for 18 months or 16 months. And this is kind of cool. So buy office supplies. If you have to travel, if you have to book travel on the card, book the travel. Okay. If you have to entertain your clients, do that. The bottom line is use the emergency business credit card for emergencies, business emergencies. Okay, that way you know that you are going to have access to this business credit card, and that if you manage it properly, you can actually get another card, not from the same issuer necessarily, but from another issuer, and that really will help you boost your access to revolving capital, revolving business capital. Okay, this is really important. And one thing I also want to say here is that, remember, it's all about tracking your expenses. It's all about having a system in place so you know exactly what's going on when it comes to expenses. Here is a winner for you. So if you are looking for an emergency business credit card with high limits, and we have a few business credit cards for emergencies. They are great for startups. They are great for established businesses. They're great for all kinds of businesses. Okay. Now you have to ask yourself first, before you pick an emergency business credit card with high limits, ask yourself, how much working capital do you need? And if you are in a partnership or have a co-founder, whose name will be on the application? Who will need access to the card? And how will it impact your personal and business credit scores? Those are questions you need to really think about before you actually pick an emergency business credit card with high limits. And we have actually a few of them that I want to share with you. We have, for example, American Express Blue Business Cash Card. This card is great for travel. Okay, so if you're traveling often for your business and you have, let's say, a decent personal credit score and are looking for an emergency business credit card with high limits, and this card is kind of fantastic because you are able to consider a travel rewards credit card to earn points and perks or cashback that make life on the road that much easier. Okay, so you have a popular travel rewards that include points or miles that can be redeemed for flights and or hotel rooms. You have bonus points for purchases in specific spending categories. You have free checked bags on flights. You have priority boarding. You have collision damage waiver when you rent a car. So the flexibility is there. The flexibility is there, and the diversity of rewards is also there. You also want to think about the Business Platinum card from American Express. This card is really great also when it comes to, let's say, when it comes to travel, but travel for a luxury, like let's say, travel with a luxury perspective. Okay, this is kind of cool. And you also have other. So for the Amex card, this is the Platinum card. This is really good. But you have other cards. You have cards that are issued by U.S. Bank, PNC. You have cards that are issued by Chase. You have Citi. You have Bank of America. So all of those players issue emergency business credit cards with high limits, no matter what. And the thing is that you just need to qualify. And the way to qualify is to start by having a relationship. Go to a branch. And when you go to a branch, make sure that you have the right information that you need, like your business info, your business plan, your licenses and permits, like a basic set of information. Like I would say, a basic set of documents about your business, and you can qualify with no problem. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I was just talking to you about how to get an emergency business credit card with high limits, and no matter what. And I gave you the overview, the steps, the approach, the winner. Fantastic. Thank you. God bless you. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.